So you've heard SEO is dead. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make SEO work, how to make it great again in 2025 and beyond. As a matter of fact, this is the only way to make SEO work moving forward. I'm going to show you exactly what to do and how to use AI to pull it off. So let's go ahead, let's dive into the computer and get started. All right, so for those of you that don't know me, my name's Derek Pierce, and if you like this sort of stuff with AI content, SEO, traffic generation, and overall digital marketing, then give this video a like, give it a share, wherever you may be watching this from. What I am going to show you is the only way that I see to approach SEO moving forward for a variety of reasons, which I will explain in this video. I feel like it was only necessary to draw this out in a mind mapping tool. So the first thing that we're going to assume is that you have a money site that is actually making money or generating commissions. If you're in the affiliate side, if you're in the lead generation side, this is something that you know is getting conversions, right? If you don't have that already, then what I want to encourage you to do is to be super aggressive to get there. All too often, you get a lot of people that want to apply these, these strategies that will take months or years. What you want to do is you want to find something as soon as you possibly can to start making money. And then what you want to do is to take that data that you're getting off of the moneymaker and you want to then distribute it to other stuff, right? So in the event that you have a money site, you're getting sales, you're getting conversions. A lot of times what people want to do is say, okay, I want to scale my business, I want to grow my business. And then they turn around and they go into a completely unrelated, unknown niche that they don't know anything about, or the unknown market that they don't know anything about. They're trying to spread out into other markets. That's the worst thing that you can possibly do. And what I'm going to suggest that you do is going to be not only safeguarding your investments, but it's going to be protecting you more from updates in the future as well. So let me explain how this goes. So first of all, you got this money site and you are making, let's say you're generating money. What you want to do is you want to use AI to duplicate this. So now all of a sudden, we're going to launch a secondary site. Okay, so we've got our money site that's making money. Now we're going to launch a secondary site. And this secondary site is something now that we are going to use AI to generate the content with, that we're going to use AI to build out, because you can launch AI sites in an afternoon, okay? You just can. Like, you can get all of the data from the money site that you are making money from, right? And then you can expand on that with AI, and you could dump all of this into this secondary site and just generate a massive amount of content that's going to drip out over months and over this next several weeks and over the next several months. It just works, right? You don't want to blast them all out at one time, but you want to launch that secondary, because if you're making money from one site and then you go and you launch a secondary site and you get it to ranking as well, you're gonna be able to scale your income from that. Because if you've got one site in the top 10, what's going to happen if you get 2? What's going to happen if you get 3, 4? That's the idea here, and there's multiple benefits to this. So the first thing is, with this secondary site, is we can be anonymous. We can be faceless with the secondary site if we want. We can be faceless with the first site if we want to. But the secondary site, we can be a completely different person. We can be a completely different brand, a completely different company. We don't have to have anything tied to this money site. So I've got a buddy of mine that has launched some stuff in a fitness space, and he's using his face to generate videos and that sort of thing. And so I was like, dude, why don't you launch a secondary site using AI? And initially he was thinking he was going to be kind of reserved because he didn't want to have his face attached to all of these different sites. I was like, no. You use a secondary site, you go completely anonymous. This is all going to be to try to game the search engines, right? So he's got his money site along with his YouTube videos that he's doing. So now he's taken those keywords that he's making money from, and he's expanded on that and started building out this secondary site. So what I suggest you do is, once you find a moneymaker, you launch a secondary site, then you launch a third site, and then you launch a fourth site, and you just keep launching these. Now, why am I encouraging you to do this? You're like, man, this is a hell of a lot of work, right? But not really, because we're using AI to generate it all. Like, we can have these keyword lists expanded in a matter of 10 minutes. We can have the whole damn site content built in a matter of a couple of hours. We can have it scheduled over the course in WordPress over the course of the next several weeks or the next several months to drip out. We can have all this whole thing set up in a single afternoon, and we can spend peanuts on it. So why would you not do that? Now, here's the benefit to doing it this way. Okay, you've got your money site over here that's already making money. Now what you want to do is you got the secondary site, third site, fourth site. And if you want to get real crazy, you can come in here and add a fifth site. And if you wanted to, this fifth site could be some sort of Parasite SEO play. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with Parasite SEO, what that is we are borrowing the authority off of high authority domain, and we are trying to use that to rank. Examples of a Parasite SEO play are the free ones are Reddit, LinkedIn, Medium. There's a number of these that are out there that you can use to try to rank. The best thing to do is go into incognito mode, do a search for the keywords that are in your market, and see if there are Parasite plays, high authority domains that are ranking. And then what you want to do is try to replicate these. Obviously, you can go a paid Parasite route where you can go and do news blast and do guest posting and that sort of thing. But for right now, what I recommend that you do is as soon as you get this site, and this can work for clients. Let's say you've got a client site that their money site, and you don't want to put this money site at risk. You can launch these that we're talking about here just exactly the way that I'm teaching you here. So where this gets really good is this secondary site here is we can hit this with some real aggressive links. Okay, so what we can do here is I'm just going to put aggressive link building. This is the stuff that you're not supposed to do. This is the tools that I like to use. These are the tools that I'm really fond of. If you are a newbie getting started with link building and doing aggressive link building, I'd recommend Ranker X. That's a good starter for doing some aggressive link building. If you are wanting to get into the most aggressive, then I would go with the Swiss Army knife, which is GSA Search Engine Ranker. Now, GSA Search Engine Ranker is a different animal. Okay, you've got to have the right templates because just firing it up and hitting start is going to do more damage than anything else. So it's better to take the time and implement a template, if you will, of putting this into play. Even though you're hitting a secondary site, it's still best practice to put in a template if you want to get the absolute maximum results from that. And this is something that I go through in my training program, Soar with AI. This is one of the tools that we use. If you're interested in that, I'll link it up inside the description. You can check that out as well. But again, Ranker X, good starter link building. These are mass link builders, and then GSA Search Engine Ranker is my next in the list, but I would prefer GSA over anything else because it's the Swiss Army knife. It will build just about any kind of link that you could possibly imagine, and this will blast links out like nobody's business, okay? So what we'll do here is we will load up the AI content for this secondary site. We will load it up here, and we'll start then doing some aggressive link building to this one. Now, this third site, what we may do is we may use an age domain. Or if we are, if we don't have that, we may, use an EMD or something along those lines. This could be, like an EMD domain. And let's say this one is aged, right? We're just mixing these up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tap each of these with a different type of link building. So one, we may use Ranker X. The other, we may use GSA. The other, we may do, we may just do our normal beginner automated links stack. What that is that's where you are, building out branded top links. Let's say this third one right here. We'll just do like a branded. I'm just going to say automated link style. Now, for those of you that are unfamiliar with automated links, what that is, it is our content multiplier. Basically, what we do is whenever we build a site out, this is one of the first things that we do. These are super, super safe, but what this does is this multiplies your content across a large part of the social media accounts and a lot of the Web 2.0 accounts like WordPress.com, Tumblr, Twitter, those types of profiles. Every time you create a new post, it goes out and it syndicates it to those sites, and it allows us to be everywhere across the web, and it allows us to multiply our content, but we're doing it in an automated way. Okay, so if you're interested in that, there'll be a link below in the description or in one of the comments as well. Now, the reason why this works, here's where this gets good. First of all, if you're ranking for this one and you're making money, what's going to happen when you start ranking the secondary, third, fourth, and fifth site? You're going to see your income grow, right? This is going to allow you to scale. So this is much better than going into a completely unrelated space. You've got sites that you're building, that's really, really deep. The second benefit to this is this helps keep competitors at bay. Okay, so when people start seeing that your stuff is showing up and it looks like it's from all different places, then they're going to be less likely to try to compete with you. Okay, if it looks like real competitive, then they're gonna bounce to something else. The real benefit to all of this, though, in addition to the income and warding off competitors and all that stuff, is the Google updates. Now, Google updates are going to be a factor. Okay, there's no denying it. Okay, so you're gonna have Google updates from here on out. Okay, so check this out. This is what we do right here. This is how we build campaigns out. Now, when a Google update happens, a lot of times this is just a matter of them, tightening things up. And then what will happen is you go 6 months down the road or 3 months down the road, and the next Google update happens, they loosen things up a little bit. Now, this is all algorithmic. So it's just like they're tightening things up, loosening, tightening, loosening, tightening, loosening. Tweak here, tweak there, tweak here, tweak there. It's just these small tweaks. And so a lot of times people will say, oh my God, I can't handle these updates or whatever. If you've launched 4 or 5 or maybe even 10 sites, you don't see it as much, because what happens is if you apply what we're talking about here and you've got different methods for each one, and one you've got this money site that you're protecting here, then you've got this aggressive form of link building, and then you've got this, more of a branded approach, and then you've got this aggressive link building here, and then over here you've got a Parasite SEO play, and then maybe you've got another age domain in the mix. When these Google updates happen, you're going to see a couple drop, you're going to see a couple climb, and you're going to see a couple stay the same. So do you really give a rat's ass if your money site drops, but your secondary site climbs? Think about it just for a moment. If you are, creating your own competition, because there's no way that Google is going to come in and just wipe every one of these out. It just doesn't work that way. This is all algorithmic updates. And so they are simply tightening things up, loosening, making a tweak here, making a tweak there, all to throw everything off just a little bit, so that way things stay, these updates just keep coming and going, so that way things kind of keep you off balance. This is the way that we remain in some level of control, is because we are playing a numbers game, and we are counting on the algorithm changing. And when the algorithm changes, we've already got sites in the hopper, so to speak, ready to go. Okay, so this happens every single update. As a matter of fact, we had some sites that dropped in the previous update back at the beginning of the year, and guess what? We didn't flip out. We didn't do anything major. But you know why? Because we had other sites that come in and took their place. This last June update, the same thing happens. Those sites that dropped back at the beginning of the year, guess what? They're now making their way back on the first page of Google. So that's how Google treats this. This is how things work. And the best way, the only way to approach SEO moving forward is this multi-site approach. Stop putting all of your fucking eggs in one basket and start branching out, building out secondary, third sites, and you're going to see a difference in your income, and you're going to be able to sleep a hell of a lot better at night. So if you enjoyed this video, again, give it a like, give it a share, check out the resources below. Appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.